In the name and in the nature of love. Dr. Jamie Lula, our Agape house band, Marianne Lewis, and then there's you, the conscious observer participant. We live in a participatory universe, and we have to participate in our own unfolding. So as you might think you're watching a service, you are to be more than enthralled, you are to be involved. You are to open yourself up and observe, but with a deep sense of receptivity to anything that may capture your awareness that you can digest and embody and practice and live, so that your time in the service is about receiving the spiritual nourishment that is necessary for you to unfold into your greater yet to be in what? In the name of love. That's what he said. In the name and in the nature of love, which is God, a total givingness of itself without any withhold whatsoever. I want you to think about that for a second. The presence of God is love, and there's no withholdness in God. Now, if you can meditate upon that, then you'll begin to release yourself into thinking that you have to convince God about anything, or that God's withholding some good from you, and that if only you can say the magical words, God will give you what you're asking for. No. That's called superstition. I call it stuperstition, in which individuals are in a stupor about false beliefs. The presence of God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Always being, always giving of itself totally and completely. There's no withholding in the presence of God. You are coming into spiritual practice that you may be available to that which is always giving of itself totally and completely, so that you're not short-circuiting yourself with anemic prayers, but you're stepping up into the vibrational frequency of total receptivity, that God may be God in and as you. I welcome you today in the theme of our month, which is in the beginning you choose. And we have worked with that whole theme of John 1:1. In the beginning was the Word was with God, the Word was God, nothing was created without the Word of God. And we've come to know this month that in the beginning there's a vibrational frequency of wholeness, a perfect spiritual idea that's already an accomplished thought, an accomplished fact in the mind of the infinite that is unfolding and is waiting for the proper condition to release itself and to manifest all the glory of the living God. In the beginning is a vibrational frequency of wholeness. And you get to choose, you get to become aware that every single moment of your life is a new beginning, because every single moment of your life you're planting some kind of seed, vibrationally, verbally, thoughtfully, heartfully. And so instead of leaving your life up to chance, you're exchanging chance for choice. You're letting go of, by chance, this may happen. And you're stepping into a vibration of choice by understanding that this second right now is a new beginning for your life. This moment right now, what you're about to say to someone, what you're about to say to yourself is a new beginning. So you are expanding your spiritual practice to be heartful and mindful about what you're planting, not just what comes over the tongue, but what comes under the tongue. Those thought forms and those chronic mentations that go on in your mind, you're to be conscious that you are leaning more towards the affirmative, more towards love, more towards generosity, more towards beauty, more towards creativity, more towards kindness, so that your trend, that which is trending in your life, is not the tyranny of trends that are sweeping through the human consciousness, but what is trending for you is an ever-expanding awareness of your oneness with the presence of God, so that the ramifications of that are health and harmony and wholeness and well-being and the all-needs-met consciousness becoming activated within you. In the beginning, this second, you choose. Choice is a function of expanded awareness, and so your inner work is providing an expanded awareness that regardless of the vicissitudes of the human condition, you can choose the high road. You can choose the peace and the love and the beauty and the harmony. You can choose it moment by moment by moment. Thus, we're inviting you today to have the faith lift of the ages. Now, I did not say facelift. I said faith lift. And I'm reminded about a moment a few years ago in which I was at Deepak Chopra's house. We were having a meeting with a bunch of spiritual types who were hanging out. And I got a call from the representative from His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and he wanted me to fly to Aspen to meet with him on this particular project. So I did. And so we're there in Aspen, and he's delivering a talk there, and snow and things like that. And he comes up and he looks around the audience, and he said, I see more faceless than snowless, than ski lifts. And everybody was like, nobody knew whether to laugh or what. I guess he was trying his hand at stand-up. But anyway, he said, I see more faceless than ski lifts. Now, he was joking around, of course. I'm saying today, we want a faith lift for the ages. And we obviously have an understanding of what faith is at a certain level. We can go into Hebrews 11:11. I like 11:11. And come to an understanding that faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Sometimes it's translated into the assurance of things hoped for and the conviction of things not seen. But when we understand that faith, this faith lift that we're seeking to have is the substance of things hoped for. It's a vibrational substance of things hoped for. And hope is the thing, it's vibrationally, the thing itself in incipiency, in an embryonic state, pre-manifestation, in the void of infinite potential, that faith is that living substance even before it has incarnated through you. Now, we want to make sure that we don't bastardize our hope by hoping for things not to happen. I hope I don't become sick. I hope I don't get broke. I hope I don't get robbed. I hope I don't get fired. We don't want to bastardize and diminish the frequency that's in its incipiency within us by taking hope off track and hoping for negative things not to happen. Because the hope is the substance and the assurance, you see, it's the living assurance of what you're hoping for. And so as you're no longer in spiritual practice walking around hoping that bad things don't happen, you're no longer using the law incorrectly by placing your attention on all the stuff that you don't want to happen, which is what in this human incarnation you are taught to do. You are provoked, intimidated, and seduced into thinking about what you do not want to experience. It is a part of the human condition. It is a part of the commercialization of everything. It is the part of selling you stuff you don't need. It is a part of you getting involved in being a consumer rather than a creator and getting stuff you don't need in your life. You are not to be provoked or seduced or intimidated into taking your hope and hanging out and hoping what you don't want. Real hope is an evidence of what you really want. It's a vibrational evidence. And then it is the substance of things not seen. So it's a living vibrational substance. And so your work, as the reading was today from 40-Day Mind, Fast, Soul Feast, is to have faith in faith. You see? Now, unchallenged faith is anemic. You see? And so when we talk about a faith lift for the ages, we're living in a very interesting age. We're talking about the fact that we live in an interesting and challenging age. We live in an age in which a virus is politicized. We live in an age in which it becomes very difficult for the average person to discern truth. We live in an age in which I've already indicated that we're seduced into fear and doubt and worry as a matter of course every single day of your life in corporate media. We live in a very interesting age. I want you to imagine for a moment that you wake up and you turn on your television. But instead of getting all of the negative statistics about whatever just happened in the world, you get all of the affirmative stuff that happened as well. X amount of people had a remission. X amount of people mended with their family. X amount of people all created this, and we created that, and artists did this, and artists did that, and inventors did this. I mean, what would happen to the gestalt? What would happen to the consciousness of the planet if we had balanced reporting between that which is affirmative and that which we need to be careful about? Being careful means to be full of care, not to be worried. It means to be full of care for your heart and your soul and for each other. You know what would happen? There would be a clearing in consciousness, and that which is hindering and blocking the flow of our perception would be cleaned away, and individuals would begin to see and sing on a clear day. Rise and look around you. You'll be able to see in ways that you have never seen before. And so we're talking about a faith lift for the ages with the awareness that an unchallenged faith, unused faith, can become anemic. You can have faith in a chair, but if you have conviction, you'll sit your butt in it and say, oh, it really works, you see. And so during this particular time in which so much is going on in the human condition, you are to not become intimidated by that which is swirling around. You are to use your faith. You are to activate your faith in such a way that regardless of what your eyes tell you, there is a vibrational frequency of harmony and joy and peace and resourcefulness and creativity that takes over your existence. A faith lift for the ages. Now, what's happening? On the Newtonian scale, your body, physical body, primarily operates under Newtonian law. Your spiritual body primarily operates under a nonlinear dynamic, a spiritual realm. However, individuals get caught up in the Newtonian limited cause and effect thinking on the physical level, and they give power into that which they can see with their eyes. But once you begin to elevate your faith and you begin to realize on a spiritual domain, all your spiritual body, your spiritual self, all of the subtle bodies are not inundated by the Newtonian model of reality, and you begin to live at this higher frequency, it affects your physical body, and it affects that which you can see with your senses. But most people are dimensionally challenged. So they're living primarily under Newtonian law, primarily under which they can, the five senses can dictate, which is to be dimensionally challenged and to live in a very small little tiny bit of reality. Why did my voice go up like that? I don't know. But anyway, for emphasis, you see. And so you are to remain conscious during this revolution. You are to remain conscious during this evolution. You are to remain conscious. I want you to have a faith lift for the ages. The same way that you have a conviction that if you sit in that chair, it's going to hold you up. I want you to have a conviction that this presence, this power, this love is for you and is not against you. And I want you to begin to walk in the world, that frequency, so there becomes a vibrational force field around you that makes you impervious to BS. That is belief systems that would keep you separated from the presence of God, love, beauty, wholeness, wellness, and well-being. Put your faith in the presence that is everywhere. And then the presence will operate through time and space. It will operate through individuals in your life. It will operate through the conditions around you. But you're not putting your faith in that which you can see. You're putting your faith in the infinite invisible. You know, we just released Thich Nhat Hanh to the other side of the veil. I had the privilege of taking meditation retreats to him back in the day when there was only 50 of us. I mean, that was a wonderful time. You know, the world hadn't caught on. and I can remember one time I would get up in the morning and jog. And one time I was coming down this hill jogging, and he was coming up the hill, and he was walking. I was jogging. And I remember I had this thought. And the thought was, I wonder if he ever jogs. It's just a thought. It's not, I kept jogging. I went, and finally, we met in the room where he was teaching, and he's up at the blackboard. He's writing some stuff down about meditation. And in the middle of his writing, he turns around, and he looks at me, and he says, somebody today thought, do I jog? I want you to know, not only do I jog, but I'm conscious of every step. In other words, his meditative practice and his inner luminosity allowed him to not only hear what I was thinking, but being conscious of every step, even when he was running, even when he was jogging. That's what he was saying in substance. And he said a couple of other things as well. And I want you to know that you have that same capacity. That if you remain conscious that you're activating faith during a challenging time, you'll be able to hear what you need to hear, see what you need to see in order to walk in this world, but of a higher frequency of life. You can be about this. You can be about this. You can be about this. I can remember another moment in which me and him and Atria Rodney, we were leading a peace walk at MacArthur Park a number of years ago. And there were thousands of people following us, and we were walking around the park. We were holding a dynamic space for peace. And, I was just humbled to be with both of those masters, Atria Rodney, who ended the caste system in Sri Lanka, Thich Nhat Hanh, who at that particular time was exiled from his country, Vietnam. And when he got up to speak, he said something along the fact of, wherever I am at home. So though he was physically exiled from his birth homeland, he had the realization that wherever he was at home. And he was exiled until 2005 or something like that, and he was able to go back. But this awareness of conscious of every step, this awareness of I am home, did not happen accidentally. It happened on purpose with spiritual practice and soulful encounter through meditation on a daily basis, until he could say, someone wanted to know if I was jogging this morning. Yes, I do jog, and I'm conscious of every step. I am at home wherever I am. I want you to have that. I want you to have that kind of faith, particularly during the age in which we are living, in which there is a deconstruction of paradigms and systemic systems that are not serving humanity anymore, and the vibrational frequency of a new way of living and a new way of being and a new way of giving emerging at this particular time in human history. Now, you may not know about it because it's not on the front page of your newspaper. If it bleeds, it leads is on the front page of your newspaper, generally. But if we could, and Barbara Marx Hubbard and I used to have this conversation a lot, if we could shine the light on all of the innovativeness and all of the love ethic and all of the mending of wounds and all of the good that's happening on the planet, if we could shine the light on that so that the world could see it, there would be a shift in consciousness from being afraid of that which appears to be destructive to being celebratory of that which is emerging. Now, what do? You use your own life as an experiment. You take a period of time and you actually do your inner shower every day for a period of time and begin to hold on to the awareness that your need is met. You begin to hold on to the awareness that you're loved and appreciated. Hold on to the awareness that you're supported. You have faith. You have a faith lift until you'll notice the deconstruction of chronic thought forms that have become emotional content, you'll see the disturbances of that welling up. And then you'll begin to see an emergence and a sound and a feeling of another kind beginning to emerge in you. It might be faint at first. It might be as faint as hope. It might be faint as hope. You won't bastardize it to, I hope this doesn't happen. It'll be hope. The substance, a living substance, embryonic state of what you really want. And then it'll become the vibrational evidence, the vibrational feeling tone, the conviction of things that your physical eyes can't see. And then you'll walk in a faith atmosphere. You'll walk in faith. You'll walk in faith. The faith will be strengthened and exercised and strengthened by the seeming challenges that are facing you. It'll lift you up like resistance sometimes allows a plane to fly high. The resistance of the wind allows it to fly. In that same space, that which appears to be working against you will allow you to fly into faith's atmosphere. And there you will live. And you'll look out and you'll say, I see more faith lift than ski lifts. I see more faith lift than down. I see it. Take a holy breath right now. That's WHOLLY, whole. Take a breath in. Release. Think for a moment. Oh, let's do this again. But this time, I want you to take air in, but I want the exhalation to be longer than the inhalation. When that occurs, there's more of a balancing that takes place in your nervous system. Just take some air in. Exhale. A little bit more air out than went in. Now breathe in. Now with your eyes closed, I want you to consider something you have faith in. First thing that came to your mind. It might be somebody you really trust. It may be some technology you use. Maybe some nutrition that you eat, but something you have faith in. Now I want you to let go of the thing, but catch the feeling of that faith. Substance, vibrational substance of something you really want. The evidence, the vibrational evidence of what your eyes can't see right now. And feel into this faith frequency. Now, again, take an inhalation. Suspend it at the apex. Just right there. Feel the faith magnified. Faith and faith. Release. More air out. You're giving yourself a faith lift. Now, as I was teaching in the Way of Meditation service this morning, this came through, that the limited perception, the egoic perception, creates value about something in the future. Like this thing in the future, if I get this thing in the future, I will be happy. So it takes your intrinsic happiness and projects it into some state or condition or thing in the future. And then when you get to the future and you get the thing, then it does it again. When this happens, I'll have joy. Cut it out. It's sidetracking your intrinsic nature. So when you have a degree of faith, that joy and that happiness is already here. You're not going to get it from that thing. You're infusing everywhere you go with it. That's freedom. That's freedom. That's freedom. So you're hanging out in faith atmosphere. The intrinsic joy and bliss and peace is already here. It becomes a conviction. You carry it with you. And you infuse the environment with it. A faith lift for the ages, for this age that we're living in right now, this interesting, challenging time. And if you notice that when you're in this faith atmosphere, you have suspended your opinion, your point of view, your limited perception, even faulty beliefs. You're in an atmosphere, and you are radiating an atmosphere. If thine eye be single, our body is full of light. Come out from among them. You're not allowing the egoic perception to create and amplify false value in something outside of yourself. You are the thing itself. Infusing the canvas of life, the colors of your sacred soul. Non-linear dynamic affecting the linear. Woo, miracle time. Healings, revelations of truth now all across the land, all across the land, all across the land, all across the planet. Miracle time, instant demonstration of truth, revelation of reality. Oh, let us be open right now. Let us be available that we become the living testimony of the presence and the power and the love of God activated through us right now. Let the healings happen. Let right now it override your conscious mind's beliefs that it can't be done, that whatever was supposed to be impossible has been changed to I'm possible. Impossible is now changing to I'm possible in every area of your life. Have a faith lift in this instant. Let it happen. That part of your life where you're saying, oh my God, I don't know if that could ever happen. Let it become an activity of your awareness in this global group consciousness of unity with the power and the presence and the love of God. Let high tide lift you into a faith lift like never before. Let the body temple come under the aegis, the spiritual authority of the celestial body of conviction that God is all that there is. Now. It's time to live. Do not live your life on the layaway plan. Saving life today to live tomorrow when some other thing happens. Live now, love now, give now, create now, share now, pray now. Oh, now. Let the revelation of wholeness happen throughout the sacred land of planet Earth right now. Faith, the substance, the vibrational substance of things hoped for. The living evidence of things not seen. The assurance of things hoped for. The conviction of things not seen. We're having an individual and collective faith lift now. Yield to it. And since in the beginning is the vibrational frequency of a perfect spiritual idea, already done in the heart, mind of the infinite using human language, we get to celebrate that it's already happening even before the eyes can see it. This is faith. We're celebrating it even before the eyes can see it. This is why we sing and chant. This is why we dance. Not frivolity, but exclamation point. Is there a dancer for us today? I mean on the screen. Somebody shout it out, yes or no? That's a no. Well, I guess I got to do it. Let's roll with some music. Because I think, is it a lovely day? Is it a great day, Jamie? It's a lovely day. Is it a lovely day, Ben? Lovely day. Is it a lovely day? Lovely. Curtis, lovely day? Lovely day. Marianne, is it a lovely day?
Absolutely.
Dwayne, is it a lovely day?
Absolutely.
It's a lovely day in every way. I'm just here to say, God, have your way with me today. Okay.
Hey.
Boom.
Hey.
Boom. Boom.
When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eye, and something without warning, love, is heavy on my mind. Then I look at you,
And I look at you.
and the world's all right with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. A lovely day.
There was Shani's with us. She does that dance. That brings me a life
When the
of
day
dance
that
consider.
lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you and the world's all right with me. Just one look at you and I know it's gonna be a
always seems to know the way.
Just one look at you,
Shakti.
and I know it's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. A lovely day.
Are you dancing? Are you praying? We're praying with our body. Have this nice body mantra. You hear Curtis? You hear that bass? You hear those keyboards? You hear that guitar? Feel into it. Feel yourself moving into a dynamic faith, a dynamic conviction, a dynamic knowing that all of the power, all of the presence, all of the love that is everywhere must be where you are. It can't be everywhere except where you are. It's everywhere, including where you are. Be open, receptive, available. This is what prayer does. Makes us open, receptive, available. And so we enter into this prayer frequency with a total releasing the gratitude. Oh, I'm so grateful. Oh, my gratitude knows no bounds nor boundary. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Oh, gratitude takes over everything. Oh, and I get to see like I have never seen before. Surrounded, embraced, cradled, loved by the presence. Oh, I see it. I feel it. I'm one with it. My life, our life, is the life of the divine. Unique expression of infinite potential. And from this consciousness of oneness, the very word that is being spoken is the word of God. For each and every one of us today, that we may be free. That our faith may be fiery, not anemic. The fiery faith of God burns away the dross, the dust and the grit of the journey. Burns it away. And we see anew. Oh my God, we see anew. We see anew. Everything is for us. We see anew. Life is for us. We see anew. We're supported. We see anew. And we now claim. All of our needs are met. Claim it. Just say to yourself or out loud, wherever you are on the globe, just say, all of my needs are met. Don't ask how. All of my needs are met. And then put this one on. My body can heal anything. My body can heal anything. Put this one on. I am safe and secure in God's love. I am safe and secure in God's love. You know what that is? That's our new beginning. In the beginning, you get to choose. I'm safe and secure in God's love. All of my needs are met. My body can heal anything. Perfect wholeness. Woo! Feel it. I want you to feel it. Let him feel it.
Into your hands I commit my spirit. Into your hands I commit my soul. Into your hands I surrender. Into your hands, oh Lord. I don't know what the divine plan is. I can't make sense of what I can't see. Yet I know that it's in order beyond my wildest dreams. Into your hands I commit my spirit. Into your hands I commit my soul. Into your hands I surrender. Into your hands, oh Lord. Into your hands, oh Lord.
Into your hands, into your control, into your master awareness, we increase our faith that we may see the invisible, that we may do what the world calls is impossible.